So today in reading, we are looking at sequence of events and drawing conclusions. Let's start with sequence of events. So when you're writing a story, you want to make sure that you go in order. When you're writing nonfiction, you want to make sure you're going in order as well. You want to make sure that your story makes sense, so you start at the beginning and then you work your way through until the end. Well, when we're asking questions about a passage or a text, the same thing goes. We want to make sure that we're keeping things in a logical order, like first, second, third, fourth, so that when somebody that hasn't ever read this picks it up, they can say, oh, well, that makes sense. It doesn't skip all around. So I have a question here, and it says, sequence of events. Which one is missing? What would you put in the blank number? So let's read through and see what it says. It says the employees were no longer working at the station. Tama stayed and greeted train riders. Then there's a blank. Then Tama wears a uniform every day at work. So what happened in between Tama greeting train passengers or riders and then wearing a uniform at work? What's the first thing I need to do? Well, I need to go back into this text and find where this happened. So let me see. Employees were no longer working at the station. Thomas stayed and greeted train riders. So let's look through. Station master, a hardworking cat. Station master, person who keeps trains running. That paragraph doesn't tell me that the employees were no longer there. I'm looking for the first thing in my sequence of events. It's not in paragraph 1. How about this one? This one talks about how Tama was a stray kitten, and then she spent most of her time there. The passengers enjoyed, or Tama enjoyed the attention and affection from the passengers. That doesn't tell me that the people that work at the train station are no longer there. So let's see what happens. In the early 2000s, train company ran Kishi Station was losing money. This is the paragraph where they were talking about the employees having to leave. I know that because it's a problem. It says the company can no longer afford to pay the people who worked at the station. With no employees to help them, passengers now had to manage their own travel. Okay, so the employees are no longer working at the station. I'm at the beginning of where the sequence of events happens. So let's look for the second one. Thomas stayed and greeted train riders. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Even though the employees were gone, look, Thomas stayed at the station. She continued to greet train riders with warm nuzzle and a purr. So that's my number 2. Thomas stayed and greeted train riders. So now something else happens, and then last, Tama wears a uniform every day at work. So let's see where the uniform part is. All right, we found the no employees. We found the greeting customers or train riders. Let's see what else happens. Soon visitors shared stories with others about the cat at Kishi Station. People wanted to see the sweet cat that was always on duty. The train company had fun with this unusual situation. It gave Tama the title of Kishi Station Master. The job even came with a station master's uniform. It is a simple black cap. Tama wears the hat every day at work. Hey, look right there. This is all about the uniform that she wears. Okay, and that was number 4. Pardon me. So now I know where number 1, 2, and 4 are. I need to figure out what happened in the middle that was really important. So let's look. Pardon me. So here's where number 2 ends, and here's where number 4 begins. So what's the most important thing that happens in here? Let's read again. It says, soon visitors shared stories with others about the cat at Kishi Station. Well, that's important, but it's not probably the most important. Let's see what happens. People wanted to see the sweet cat that was always on duty. The train company had fun with the unusual situation. It gave Tama the title of Kishi Station Master. That's pretty important, because that's kind of what the whole thing is about, right? A hardworking cat is our title, and it's all about how she was the station master saving the train. So this is what is missing in my sequence of events. So Tama stayed and greeted train riders. Tama was named station master, Station. Tama was named station master. Now I have a sequence of events that makes sense. Let's read it and double check. It says the employees were no longer working at the station. Tama stayed and greeted train riders. Tama was named station master. And Tama wears a uniform every day at work. This is what happened first, next, then last. And this small section of the text. Okay, let's move on and talk about drawing conclusions. Drawing a conclusion means that you're taking everything that you've read and putting it all together to create an idea in your mind. So drawing a conclusion means you're coming up with an idea in your mind. So I want to concentrate on paragraph 5 here. I'm going to read it out loud, and then we're going to draw a conclusion. Let's see here. Paragraph 5 says, perhaps Tama's title was originally meant as a joke, but Tama continues to perform her job wonderfully, like any hardworking employee. She walks around the station in her uniform and greets passengers. The black, white, and orange cat allows passengers to pet her and take photographs with her. People continue to visit the station just to see Tama. So here's a question. How does this affect the train station? How does this affect the train station? This is kind of a drawing conclusion type of question. They're asking for almost your opinion, but it has to make sense with the text. So think about everything that Tama's doing. She's strutting around in her little hat, and she's being cute and letting people pet her and cuddle with her. And that's bringing people continue to visit the station just to see Tama. So that's bringing people to this train station. So Tama is bringing business back to the train station. That's a big deal. And I know that just by what's happening here. I've drawn a conclusion. Tama was originally named station master as kind of a joke. But because people were so excited by the idea of a cat being station master, now they go just to see her. But they spend money to get gifts, and they go to the town and have lunch because they've gone to see this cat at the train station. So how does this affect the train station? Well, Tama brings people that will spend money, which goes back to our problem. They were losing money, so now they're making money. So Tama brings people that will spend money at the station. So Tama is helping to make money. That's what this cat is doing. So we have drawn a conclusion. Today, on your work with a sticky idea, you're going to be asked to draw a conclusion about Band-Aids. Make sure that you have evidence to support your answer. There's even a box there that asks, what is your evidence for your answer? And you're going to pull ideas from the text, just like we did here. Okay? People continue to visit the station just to see Tama. Well, that means they're coming to spend money. Just like I pulled evidence from the text in my passage, you need to pull evidence from the text in your passage. Do your best thinking and make sure your answer makes sense.